What is going on, everybody? It is the TheHeelyGod. It is your boy. So yeah, you're probably clicking on this and being like, oh my God, what new thing is he going to do now? Yep, you are listening to a podcast. I know, if you look at my channel, you're going to realize it is honestly a conglomeration of just weird, random things that have to do with Heelys. And yep, now we are on the podcast wave. So basically, today's podcast is basically just going to be really chilled out. It's just a quick little video that I'm making, and I'm going to explain why I'm making this video, actually. I'm going to give you some origins as to where my channel kind of started and why it started. And obviously, we're just going to be talking Heelys today. Okay, so I figured that I should probably be upfront and tell you why this channel exists. You're probably wondering, why did a random-ass channel talking about Heelys just pop up out of nowhere? So today I'm going to talk about it. So, the honest truth as to why this channel exists. I am currently a communications student at Framingham State University, and I am enrolled in two different classes right now. I am in a YouTube vlogging class, and I am in a class called Communication and Social Media. So, basically, for the vlogging class, as you can imagine, what we have to do is we have to make YouTube videos. And in my communication social media class, we basically, for our final project, we were assigned to create some form of creative outlet online, have a presence online where we can kind of take whatever we have as a hobby and turn it into a platform where we can share thoughts and opinions about it. So I figured that, okay, maybe I could actually multitask here and kill two birds with one stone and actually kind of turn this YouTube channel into something I can use for both classes. So that's exactly where the TheHeelyGod came from. I'm a student and I'm using this for class. Hopefully that doesn't disappoint anybody. I don't know why, because I'm actually starting to attract some random people outside of the class to my channel that are just interested in Heelys, which is awesome, which is what everybody doing this is intending to do, to grow their audience and to gain an audience outside of the class. And that's really cool that I'm starting to gain people like that. I can't believe people actually care about watching my stupid Heelys content, but you know what? That's pretty awesome. I'm not going to question it. So for my communications social media class, we need 5 videos by the end of today. And today is April 25th, 2021. So I am really... I'm really pushing it to the last minute here, but I needed something that I can kind of put out here that is easy to create. It's just very digestible, easy content. I don't have to edit it a lot. I don't have to think about it too much. And I figured that, you know what? I think a podcast is probably the simplest thing I could do just to get one last video out and crank it out. So here I am. We're just going to talk about Heelys really quick today. Not going to be too long. Going to be really chilled out. But yeah, this is going to be the last piece of content that I need for that class. But don't worry, the TheHeelyGod is going to continue on because I still am in my vlogging class, and I think I have 2 or 3 weeks left of classes, something like that. In the fall, I'm also taking a class called The Creative Process. So I think the premise of that class is that you have a semester-long creative project that you do that is obviously assigned and approved by the teacher. I think you get to choose it. So it's possible I could choose to continue the TheHeelyGod. I'm not sure I'm going to do that yet, but, you know, TheHeelyGod could continue on because it seems like people actually seem to really like my stupid content, believe it or not. Again, I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to enjoy it, and I'm thankful for that. So who knows? Maybe the TheHeelyGod will continue on after this class. We will have to see, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. There's a class where maybe it could come back into play. We will have to see. But for now, just enjoy this little podcast. I need a 5th video, and this is going to fulfill that 5th video. So let's just talk about Heelys, shall we? That's what the channel's about. So obviously, as you've seen in many of my videos, I have rebought a pair of Heelys for myself as an adult. And I think there's a lot of speculation, people questioning out there, is it worth it? Is it worth it to rebuy them as an adult? Or is it just kind of something, you know, you remember as a kid, like, oh yeah, that was a lot of fun when I was, 8 years old. But then you get them as a 22-year-old, that's what I am, or anything older. Is it worth it? Is it just as fun as you remember? And I'm here to tell you, it really is. And I know I've said this before, but I'm going to go into depth about why I think they really are worth it to rebuy them as an adult. They're just a lot of fun. So how it started for me was, I remember I was watching YouTube one day, and I was just chilling out, and I came across these two guys, I think they're called J Stu Studios on YouTube. And they do a lot of prank videos. They do a lot of vlogging as well on their second channel. And one of the videos, I was just scrolling through their channel one day, and because I'm a fan of them. And one day, I saw them rebuying Heelys as an adult. And I'm like, oh my God, I remember Heelys. So I clicked on the video, and it took me right back. They were like, I think 26 at the time when they bought their Heelys. And neither of them had a pair, because apparently their moms didn't allow them to get them because, back then they really were like the Red Ryder BB gun of my generation. You had to beg and plead your parents to buy these. You couldn't just easily get them for Christmas. Moms hated these things. They really did. It did not come easy for me when I got my pair of Heelys for the first time when I was like, 7 years old, something like that. I had to beg and beg and beg my parents for them. Man, I must have been such an annoying little kid. But damn, they were the thing to have back in my day. They were so popular, and they got banned everywhere. And I think that's honestly why you don't really see them around too much anymore. It's because they got banned in so many public places that it killed the sales, and therefore it killed the popularity of Heelys pretty much. But they do still exist. They have a website, and you can buy a pair. They have them in adult sizes. They have them in women's, kids, everything. You can really, anybody, any gender, any age can buy a pair of Heelys in 2021. That's awesome. So I remember watching J Stu Studios' video, and I was just having a blast watching it, like watching them fail and kind of try to teach themselves how to Heely, and everybody giving them weird looks in the mall. It was just a really funny video. So the more and more I watched it, the more and more I started to miss them. And as time went by, they started to do more things with the Heelys. I think they did like a winter racetrack on a pond or something that when it was frozen in the winter. I'm like, okay, that's clever. I think they went to the skate park with them. They even got like a $150 bearing upgrade on them. I'm like, oh my God, they're going all out with these. It was just so fun to watch. And I'm like, okay. Eventually the bug bit me, and I said, you know what? I think I got to buy a pair. So I went on their website, and they're not expensive. They're really not. I think majority of them are around $60 for an adult pair. So I'm like, you know what? That's not bad at all. So I started looking around, and I realized that they have a lot of new designs that I don't really remember them having when I was a kid. I only remember there being some very simplistic kind of, they all the Heelys looked somewhat similar when I was a kid, I feel like. They weren't too intricate or anything. But now, oh my God, you go on their website, they have Reebok collaborations, they have Heelys that look like Vans, they have Heelys that look like basketball shoes. It's unbelievable the variety that they have to offer now. And yeah, it's really cool to see all the different kinds. So I kind of went classic, and I just got the typical black and white skate shoes looking ones. Those look kind of the most similar to the Heelys that I had when I was a kid. So when I was a kid, I had black Heelys that were basically just skate shoes. They were plain black. There was nothing really fancy about them. They were just very simple and just classic. So when I wanted to rebuy them as an adult, I kind of just went as classic as I could go to kind of like, bring me back as a kid. So I just got the classic black and white ones. They didn't have any plain black ones, which I kind of wanted. So I got the black and white ones, and I'm still glad that I got them because they're very cool. I think they're a cool design, and especially when you match them with khakis, they actually look pretty fresh. I'm not going to lie. So I just remember when I actually bought them, I put my credit card in, and I said purchase. I couldn't believe I actually did it. I actually bought Heelys as a 22-year-old. Actually, at the time I was 21, but it doesn't really matter. I couldn't believe I rebought them as an adult. But once I did it, I could not stop thinking about them. I could not stop being overly excited to finally get my hands on a pair again. And so basically I tracked it the entire time. It took about a week, I think, and it actually got to my house a couple days earlier than it said it was going to. So that's always good. That's always a good thing. And when they got here, they had no laces in them. I basically had to put the laces in myself, which, that's not really fun. But they are Heelys, and they're the coolest shoes in the world. So I said, you know what? It's worth it. So I laced them up, and then I opened up the wheels. Oh my God, when I opened up the wheels, I'm like, this is taking me right back. I popped out the bottoms with the tool that every pair of Heelys comes with, and when I popped the wheels in and I put them on, it really came right back to me. I was doing it in my kitchen, and in my kitchen I have, kind of like a shiny flat surface, which is perfect for heelying. It came right back to me, but I was not prepared for feeling like I'm wearing high heels or some shit. I felt really high up. I don't remember having that sensation when I wore them as a kid, but when you wear Heelys and you have the wheels in, you really do feel taller than you really are. Yeah, so I don't remember that at all. Also, be forewarned, if you are going to buy Heelys as an adult and you want to wear your Heelys in public, always bring the tool with the bottoms, because I'm telling you right now, I forgot how much it sucks to walk around with the wheels in. Like, it absolutely sucks. Like, it feels like high heels to the max, and it's so uncomfortable. And not only that, it sounds like high heels. When you're walking around with heels on, it's like they make so much fucking noise. But then basically last semester in my audio production podcasting class, I remember we were in a Zoom breakout room, and somehow, I think we were doing like an assignment where we were doing a morning radio show, almost kind of, it was like a mock radio show for the morning, and we were talking about like what makes us mad in the morning. And we were talking about like bad drivers and like bikers and like skateboarders and like people that get in the way of drivers and like make everything so much worse when you're driving. And somehow, like I said, it's a little bit foggy, but I remember somehow the topic of Heelys came up, and it brought me back again. I'm like, okay, that was the second time where I'm like, okay, I need to buy them. So I did, and I'm so glad that I did, because I didn't realize it would lead to me being in this vlogging class where we have to have a theme, and also communication social media, where I have this final project where we have to have an online presence and we have to have a theme. And I'm like, well, I might as well just take the Heelys and do funny things with them. And I'm really glad that I did, because I've had so much fun with making this YouTube channel, and it's totally worth it. It is 100% worth it to rebuy Heelys as an adult. I can confirm that. And if you're thinking about doing it, or if you never had them as a kid and you want to rebuy them, or you want to buy them for the first time, as an adult, do it. I'm telling you right now, do it. It's so much fun. Be a man-child or a man-woman, whatever you want to call it. Just do it. It's so much fun. You'll get weird looks, but you know what? You only live once. YOLO, right? Just do it. It's so much fun. You will not regret it. And it's almost just as fun going into stores and seeing people's reactions that it is actually healing. Like, just seeing how people react, because the thing is, Heelys were such a generational divide. You know what I mean? If you see kids, they'll probably just stare at you like, oh my God, what are those? It's really sad, and it makes me feel old that kids don't really know what Heelys are anymore. You look at, like, you know, people, like middle-aged people in their 50s and 60s, they're like, oh God, not those dreaded things again, because they're the parents of the kids, you know, that that had the Heelys, you know what I mean, back when they were popular. So they remember them as like these awful things. And then you go to like grandparents, they have no idea what they are, probably. But if you run into people that are around my age and they're like early to mid 20s, their life is going to be made. I've gotten so many comments on them like, oh my God, are those Heelys? And I'm like, yep. And they're like, my day is made, my life is made. Those need to come back immediately. It's unbelievable how many people want them to come back. And it's like, they were just so damn popular. I truly believe the reason they went out of popularity is because they just got banned from everywhere. Everybody remembers them so fondly, at least the ones that wore them, remember them as such a good memory, and they were such a fun trend. But they never, like, got old. They never got boring. It's just they kind of got banned everywhere, and it was a circumstance of their environment rather than them just, like, being, like, a fidget spinner scenario where they were such a fad and they kind of just died because they weren't popular anymore. They got old, you know? It was never like that with Heelys. Everybody loved them, so please, world, listen to me. Listen to the TheHeelyGod. Let's bring them back. Let's make them popular for good. We need to see these in stores. I want to be able to walk into, like, you know, a shoe store and actually see Heelys rather than just being relegated to buying them online. That'd be my dream come true if we could actually make that happen. But, you know, a man can dream, a boy can dream. Will we see it ever again? Will we see Heelys on top ever again? I don't know, but I would love to see it. So yes, they are worth it as an adult, especially at the price point that they're at, around $60. Some are less, some are a bit more if you get like the light up Heelys, which do exist, by the way. The price point's good. They're just as fun as you remember, and you're going to get some very interesting reactions from people in public if you wear them in stores and stuff like that. So that's it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little podcast. I know this channel is turning into an absolute clusterfuck. It really is. But you know what? If it has to do with Heelys, I'm going to indulge. So that's all you got to know. Follow the TheHeelyGod for more Heelys content. You can follow me on Twitter at TheHeelyGod YT, I believe. You can subscribe to me on YouTube, which many of you already are doing, which I am very thankful for. And don't forget to tap the bell so you can always tell when I am uploading a video, because you never know what it's going to be, but you do know it's going to be related to Heelys. And that's all that matters. So that's it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you in the next video. Wear Heelys to escape your feelings.
Heely gang, Heely gang, Heely gang, yeah. Heely gang, Heely gang, Heely gang, yeah. Watch me go around like a boomerang. Skirt when I switch lanes. Heely gang, Heely gang, Heely gang. Hold up, Heely, yeah. Going Papa Willie, yeah. You know the dealie, yeah. It's me and my Heelys.